Hello, good morning students. So let's start our today's virtual class and our today's topic is our human respiratory system. तो हम कैसे how we take air, breathe in and out, we will study this. So our human respiratory system consists of following organs which are take part in the respiratory system. Nose. After nose, it's nasal passage. Nasal passage के बाद our pharynx. Pharynx के बाद it's the tracheae, and tracheae bronchioles. Bronchioles, it's alveoli, and lungs, finally diaphragm. So these are the parts in human respiratory system that took part in the process of respiration. Nose, nasal passage, pharynx, trachea, bronchi, alveoli, lungs and diaphragm. So I hope this is clear. Now let's see how our respiration process takes place. So the air we breathe in, the air जो हम breathe in, it enter through what? Through the nose. The air we enter, breathe in, enter through the nose, and after nose it reach to our nasal passage और nasal cavity भी बोला जाता है इसको, ठीक है. But remember here our nasal cavity, this nasal cavity or passage consists of mucus and hair, tiny hairs. तो हमारे you can even feel like nose में water, that is the mucus, and small hairs. So what is its function? Filtration. Whatever the dust entering through the air is being filtered or trapped by the mucus and the tiny hair present in our nasal cavity. So what is the function here of nasal passage? Filtration. It traps the dust. So after nasal cavity, and one more thing, our mouth cavity, this is the mouth cavity, this is the mouth cavity. You can see in this nasal cavity and mouth cavity there is a separation, and that separation is by a bony plate. You can see this is the bony plate. Even you can feel it just with your tongue at the top. There is some hard surface, that is the bony plate. And what is the function of bony plate? Because of this bony plate we can take food at the same time we can breathe air. Because of this bony plate हम खा भी सकते हैं और उसी टाइम पे we can inhale and exhale air. This is the function. I hope this is clear, the function of bony plate. So after nasal passage it open, or the air goes to what? It goes to the pharynx. So what is the function of pharynx? Remember student, pharynx is the common part for both food and air. So pharynx is the part where food and air both enters. This is the common part. इसीलिए if you have seen कभी-कभी ऐसा होता है कि food क्या होता है? It comes to the nose. खाना कभी-कभी if when you are get unconscious, because it is the common pathway for both esophagus, the food pipe and the windpipe. So I hope this is clear. So the air from the pharynx it enter into the tracheae. We also called it as windpipe. Tracheae or the windpipe. Just see here, before trachea there is a larynx. So what is larynx? Larynx is also known as voice box. So there is like it is like this. There is something like this, and there are some muscle flaps. So when air passes through these flaps, like गिटार में जो string या chord होते हैं, वो air में जब vibrate करते, it creates sound. Same is our voice box. जब हम air passes through this, it creates the sound or the language. Got it? So this is the larynx, and that is the opening of that trachea. One more thing, trachea, our trachea is supported, made up of, supported by some ring-like structure. Can you see this blue color ring-like structure? Okay, they are ring-like structure. They are soft bone called cartilage. Now why? यहाँ तक तो it's like made up of the muscle, but यहाँ पे why trachea is made up of soft bone or cartilage, ring-like structure? Because of this, if यहाँ पे विंड पाइप में एयर अगर नहीं रहे, जस्ट इमेजिन किसी भी आपने कैन लिया, उससे सडनली आप एयर को खींच देते तो क्या होता है? बर्स्ट, कोलैप्स, ठीक है, चपटा हो जाता है. तो बिकॉज द एयर गोज आउट, वैक्यूम क्रिएट हो जाता है. इफ कभी ट्रकिया में इफ देयर इज नो एयर इन द ट्रकिया, इवन देन ऑल्सो इट वोंट कोलैप्स बिकॉज ऑफ दिस सॉफ्ट बोन कार्टिलेज. ऐसे होता है सॉफ्ट बोन कार्टिलेज लाइक दिस रिंग, एंड इट प्रिवेंट इट the trachea from being get collapsed. I hope this is clear. Now trachea opening is the larynx, and trachea end in divide into two tube-like structure, and those tube-like structure are known as, I can write it here from here, it open into two tube-like structure, we call it bronchus. You can see. So trachea का opening is the larynx, and the end of the trachea it is divided into two tubes जिसको बोला जाता है bronchus. So air enter, कहाँ से air enter हुआ? हमारा nose to the nasal passage, nasal passage से pharynx, pharynx से trachea, trachea से ये आया bronchus में, and finally this bronchus, as you see in the green color, divided into some very tiny tubes, and those are known as bronchiole. Those are known as this tiny tube-like structure are called bronchiole, and now these bronchiole are further divide and form alveoli. So what are alveoli? आप देखोगे ब्रोंक्यूल्स किसमें एंड हो रहे? alveoli. This red bag like structure. Alveoli are very small bags. They are alveoli are tiny sac like structure. Tiny sac like, just like this मैंने जो बनाया है, just and this are small tiny sac-like structure, and just this is a bronchiole. तो जैसे आप अंगूर देखते हो, ग्रेप्स का देखा है, लाइक सेम इज लाइक दिस. तो क्या होता है, दिस ब्रोंकियल स्मॉल ट्यूब ओपन इनटू अ बलून या सैक लाइक स्ट्रक्चर जो अंदर से एम्प्टी है, एंड दिस इज द गैस. यहाँ पे एक्सचेंज होता है, एंड दिस alveoli is present. This alveoli and bronchioles are present inside the lungs, और यहाँ पे वो एक्सचेंज होता है. जस्ट थिंक कि alveoli से एयर आया और ये पूरा रीजन किससे भरा हुआ है? आपका एयर से. एंड दिस alveoli आर वेरी थिन, दे आर टाइनी, एंड इसका सरफेस इज वेरी थिन. आई टोल्ड यू फॉर रेस्पिरेशन या डिफ्यूजन एक्सचेंज के लिए सरफेस को वेरी थिन होना पड़ेगा. सो दिस alveoli are very thin sac-like structure जिसके चारों तरफ it is being surrounded by the blood vessels. ब्लड वेसल्स, और ब्लड वेसल में क्या होता है, रनिंग ब्लड फ्लो करता रहता है जो कि कैरी करता है अपने साथ CO2 and O2. CO2 and O2. अब जस्ट इमेजिन दिस इज द alveoli और this is a blood vessel. Blood vessel. Now, in the blood vessel, the concentration of CO2 is maximum. But in the alveoli or the sac-like structure, the concentration of oxygen is maximum. We are taking oxygen, but our body is preparing carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is taken by the blood to the alveoli, and this alveoli, inside the alveoli, from this bronchioles, O2 is coming. So there is a difference in the concentration. So अब क्या होगा, diffusion from the alveoli to the blood vessel क्या move करेगा, ऑक्सीजन from higher concentration to lower concentration, क्योंकि ब्लड में ऑक्सीजन का concentration कम है, कंटिन्यूसली ऑक्सीजन यूज हो रहा है हमारी बॉडी के थ्रू, बट CO2 का concentration ब्लड में ज्यादा है जबकि alveoli में कम है. So CO2 will goes from the blood vessel to the alveoli, to the alveoli से bronchiole, CO2 उल्टा जाएगा, ऐसे करके जाता रहेगा. This is the CO2 and finally CO2 environment में. But oxygen nose से nasal passage, फिर pharynx, pharynx से larynx, फिर trachea, bronchiole, alveoli. I hope this much is clear how this respiration process takes place. So one more thing students, this is the diaphragm. Just lungs के नीचे एक रबड़ का प्लेट होता है and this diaphragm used to come down and up. जैसे ही इसको नीचे की तरफ पुल किया जाता है तो our lungs expand, और जैसे ही ये ऊपर की तरफ चला जाता है lungs contract. जैसे ही expand होता है we take air, जैसे ही our lungs contract we exhale air. So this is how exchange takes place. I hope you have understood, and if you have any doubt you just send a message to me. Thank you students.